I probably could have done everybody a favor and not tied my shirt up above my belly button like a groupie. Maybe everybody could have not seen that, but I was so
Well,
excited
how else
to
was
be
I
there.
going to sign your chest?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, welcome to the Fatherless Cheat Sheet. I'm Andrew, your host, and your fatherless friend. Today, I have a very, very good friend of mine on. And when I say that, I mean it. I've known him for a very long time. He's the kind of friend that you have embarrassing stories about, great deep history, and a lot of fondness is an understatement. His name is Jeff Gorra. He's a father, a musician, a professional, and he founded a site called Artist Waves, which is an artist-driven site about music. And he does a really wonderful job of interviewing musicians, really getting to know them and understand them. He's an advocate for musicians and artists. And I just like talking to him. He's a great guy. We sort of get a little nerdy about music, which is one of my great passions. I love music. I love lyrics. And he shares that affinity and love. So I'm just going to leave it at that today. I want you to enjoy it. I want you to dig in a little bit on music. And hopefully this is a good soundtrack for you. The Fatherless Cheat Sheet. All right. All right. Welcome to the Fatherless Cheat Sheet. And I have with me Jeff Gorra of Artist Waves. I know him a little bit differently and a little bit longer. He's a great father of 4. Are you crazy? A musician, a professional, a husband, kind of the coolest guy you'd know, and one of the kindest as well. And I'm lucky enough to call him a very good friend, and we're lucky enough to have him today. Jeff, welcome.
Thank you very much, buddy. I appreciate the intro and the kind words.
You got it. No, you've earned it over years and years.
It is so good to be talking to you anytime, but in a setting like this, I was looking forward to this all week, dude.
That's great, man. And life is all about things to look forward to, as I beat the drum on often. And whenever we get together, whether we're walking down 50th and Broadway, splitting a bottle of Jack, passing that thing back and forth many, many moons ago, or we get to just catch up. You live quite a distance away from me, but we still manage to keep in touch. And we have one of those friendships where sometimes some time passes by, but you just pick it up right where you left off. And I always appreciate that about you and our friendship. So
same, man. It's like a brotherhood. It's like I know you're always there, and you hopefully know I'm always there. And it's just life is sometimes in between, but not really.
Yeah, and I would say this, and I was joking about the 4 kids. You're crazy, because the fact of the matter is, children are the ultimate blessing. And we talk about our kids all the time, and it's pretty amazing what you're able to get done and compartmentalize. So with your 4 children, and you're a coach, you coach them up. You're coaching teams. You're going. What's the day-to-day look like for you guys?
It's funny because it's routine, but it's also be ready to pivot at the drop of a dime. They're getting a little older, like 3rd grade to middle school. So it's like it doesn't. I hate the word easier. It doesn't get easier. It just gets different. Like my older 2 are a little bit more self-sufficient right now, and can make their own lunch to bring to school and can walk home. Whereas the little ones, they need a little bit more of your attention, a little bit more of your help. It's funny, the mornings, because most of the week I commute, I go into the city. So I take my older 2 to the bus, and then, which is super early, and then carry on. And it's like coming out of the holiday season. It's like, the Home Alone scenes where it's like, and you're just like going back. Then you forgot something, you run back inside with one shoe, and you're like, we're going to miss it. It's
just don't forget a child, like that movie, and then they did it again. So
and then you can see how it could be very realistically, part of your day too. But it's it's like that, and then you sit down for a minute and you laugh. And you're like, "Okay,
Yeah.
alright, I did it."
Yeah, you did it, you accomplished it, and one of the things that, I sort of as I've gotten to know sort of your relationship with your children sort of from afar, but I love your sense of humor with them. I think that we both sort of have that goofy relationship. We're sort of goofy dads with our kids, and I would say that's one of the only ways to go. Dave Grohl is a goofy dad, and he's one of our faves, so we're in good company, I think.
Yeah, man, you gotta be. I feel you gotta instill a sense of humor, like, it just not not everything is a make or breaks it. Laugh a little, make fun of yourself,
Yeah.
make fun of each other at some degree that they can handle it. I don't know, I have to be that way, it just comes natural. Sometimes I just, like, don't know any better don't know any better. But then you see one of your kids, my daughter does this a lot, like, we'll recite back like, a little line from Billy Madison or something, or be like,
Yeah.
"How did you do that?" And then you're like, "Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
You're doing
buddy,
you're doing something
you
right,
did
though.
something
This is
right."
which is like now Billy Madison to someone her age is classic cinema. It's like us watching, an Orson Welles flick,
Yeah,
which
totally.
is crazy. But but here's the thing. Also, your history with music, sort of a shared love of ours, and I've known you long enough where do you remember the time that I got your band in to play at my Midtown bar? Like, I brokered that thing and you guys Breaker Fall played, remember that?
Calico Jacks, man.
Oh my god, I don't
Eastside
know.
Calico Jacks, a lot of good times in there.
Your passion for music led to your pursuit with Artist Waves. Can you tell us a little bit about that project and how it started and
Yeah.
everything?
It started kind of by accident. It's like that old cliche in sports where, like, the position finds you kinda thing.
Yeah.
It was it was something that was just an evolution of the other creative endeavors coming together. Like, I
Mhm.
always loved music, I loved it as a fan, but it went as I got older, I realized it was much deeper than that, like, why I liked it. And then I played with groups, and then that led to writing, like, we have a shared passion for writing,
Mhm.
and then it led to, well, I don't like the way these writers are portraying some of my favorite artists. And then you learn the business behind, well, they're not showcasing a painting here. They're trying to get clicks. They're trying to get
Right.
uh, eyes or sell sell ads or whatever like that. And so what made me start Artist Waves was I was writing for other outlets as just a for fun part-time thing. And then I said, I don't really like the voice that some of these people are like some of this stuff that's happening right now is really good and it's powerful and it's like making an impact. And like artists are starting to focus on health and wellness and they're starting to focus on foundations and community and stuff like that. And it wasn't always like that. And I don't feel like anybody is grabbing on to like what are they trying to say and what are they doing? What's the ripple effect? So I was like, well, instead of me hoping the editor frames my stuff the way that I'm writing it, why don't I just do it myself?
Yeah.
So I did, and then I didn't know what to do. It was just kind of a glorified blog. And then I linked with someone creative, a graphic arts person who I had like a million names kicking around. None of them really made sense. And then she made the logo with me, and I was like, "That's it. That just simple, like, that's it. It's a wave, it's got that little bit of a surf undertow, and um, it's got the vibe and the feel that I'm looking for." And then I just started writing and creating, like, 2 or 3 content pieces, mostly interviews,
Mhm.
from that and tried to, like, make T-shirts and stuff like that, and then it just continued pretty heavily, as a publication,
Yeah.
as a digital publication that then evolved into, well, now we gotta pivot because it's the pandemic and now everything's streaming and live and Instagram Live and videos. Okay, well, now that's it's not nobody really cares about 3 articles about the same person in one day anymore.
Yeah.
Now you gotta go on site. Now you gotta go interview people, and now you gotta be a face. Now you gotta be a brand, and then it's like became a culmination of all those things.
Mhm.
But really, what I was always trying to capture was just like the inspiration of what was happening in the subject that we're talking about.
Yeah, and I would say this as I've been
Cheers.
hey, cheers. Let's do that. Cheers. I've always, been an avid follower and fan of yours and supporter, and I always loved your genuine, nearly childlike enjoyment of what you're doing with these artists, and I think that so many times in the interviews and when you're talking to a musician, especially on some of the Instagram live stuff, things that you did, I think they really fed off of that as well. I mean, they were really sort of excited how excited you were and how knowledgeable in the research that you did. So, I think that your passion for music as you are a musician, lead singer, guitarist, and writer, it all came through in that, and I hope that, like, you just your enjoyment of it really shined through. You weren't doing it for any other reason, and that's sort of what I've noticed translated into that. Tell me about sort of your a couple really notable, enjoyable live experiences with some of these, the festivals that you go to and stuff like that.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it really was off of foundation of, like, appreciation of what you're doing as the artist, how hard you're working, in the community you're building, and then what what's happening after that? Like, where does it come from? Like, I'd ask somebody. It's kinda like that actor thing where you hear about those, like, crazy actors that, like, were in these really intense, awesome roles, and all they did was live in that character for a year. And you're like, "Come on." Like, when I would interview someone, I would submerge myself in their catalog, and I still do this, and only
Yeah.
listen to especially if it's something new, only listen to that for, like,
Yeah.
the whole week or 2 leading up to it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what did you mean by that line? Or the way you
Mhm.
delivered that second chorus is different from the first chorus, like,
Sure.
why? There's something that you're and then you get them to open up because you have to get past that, like, are you gonna ask me the same thing everybody else asks?" Especially if you don't know them. I mean, over time, I developed a few relationships where I could just jump right into it. But then they're
Yeah.
like, "Where were you like, everybody asks that.
Yeah, sure.
But if you ask something like that, they're like, "Oh, this guy, maybe he did his homework. Maybe he's coming from the writer circle too." But then in the
Yeah.
festival scene, it became, all right, how do I do that when I'd host live at Levitate or something like that,
Mhm.
the interviews, and it became like, how do you turn that into like almost a clip that works in a couple minutes and also
Yeah.
get the attention of people right away and cut it down and edit it. So that was a learning experience, but also fun because there's an improv to it. Um, and I,
Yeah.
I love that whole festival scene.
Yeah, and the thing and you're sort of what I've seen, especially with the some more of the improv, like, i interviews you've had, I've seen when you had to be quick on your feet and someone else walked into the scene, a different member of the band or a different artist altogether, and I think because of your history as a musician, there's a seamless thing where then it just turns into a kind of a cool hang with you guys. So it's a fun thing to watch from the outside. And also I just wanna say that I totally understand what you mean about as an actor throwing yourself into things, because when I was on Law& and Order and had one line, I pretended to be a cop in New York City for an entire year, and I don't do that. You can get in big trouble impersonating a cop, and I'm like, "I'm just studying to do one line on Law& and Order," and
But
and I nailed it.
you took care of some real assholes that had no space in our being on the
I
same
did.
streets as we were.
There was some vigilante justice I took care of, mostly by the Port Authority. Some weird stuff was going on over there. But, yeah, it's it was always fun to watch, and as do you see artist waves how what's the evolution look like? Do you see it going in a similar direction, live stuff, interviews?
Yeah, I think it has to be. It's at a bit of a timeout, for lack of a better term now, a reassess of where does it go now, and, like,
Yeah.
how do you take what you've already done and preserve it and then turn it into something else? Because, um, time is a thing, and, like, eh, how much do you wanna get out of it from a professional perspective is also something that I've considered now more than ever than, well, I don't care. I don't want to make a thing of it. I just want to like write and connect with people and I'll spend my own money. All right. Now your time is a little bit more valuable. So
Mm.
you got to be a little bit more careful with it. But the video interview, podcast, live stuff, and integrating some sort of art into it as well.
Of course, yeah.
And the community that I'm in here on the South Shore, I'm pretty lucky because like this Levitate Festival, Levitate brand is here. And that's a
Mhm.
very heavy, like Jack Johnson stick figure elevators type of culture that's like literally in my backyard. That is part of what is Artist Waves anyway. So
Yeah.
finding ways that I integrate with them too. Um, it doesn't have to be a huge thing. Like you find it doesn't have to be a huge community. It doesn't have to be a million people. It just has to be your people.
Yeah, and just to get back to the Levitate, one of the things I want you to tell us more about the Levitate Festival. I know it takes place up in Massachusetts. It's also a sort of a getting back to you're a father of 4, wonderful children. It's a family-friendly event. Can you talk a little bit about the festival?
There's fun, there's something for everybody, and also, you mentioned kid-friendly, you gotta bring the girls, you gotta bring your kids. They got all sorts of kid-friendly things that you could listen to the music, watch the
Mhm.
music, and have fun with your whole family at the same time. It's unbelievable what the festival's grown into, and to have it, like, here on the South Shore, basically in your backyard,
Yeah,
you can't miss it.
like the Levitate Festival, when you could incorporate having your children there, you know, here's what I'll say. When you have kids, you wanna do stuff. You wanna do adult stuff, but you wanna do kid stuff, and you wanna do something together, and it doesn't always have to be $700 at medieval times where you're eating with your hands and, some guy named Ray next to you won't get his thigh off of your thigh. Move over, Ray. So and the
Stop
girls,
stealing my
they
soup.
"Stop stealing my soup, Ray." Okay, that was my bread, my crusty loaf. The girls wanna get the hell out of there because 'cause they're all jacked up from a duel, but something like that where there's open space, probably beautiful weather, and just from what you're explaining, sort of a good vibe with good people, I think maybe we need some more of that kinda stuff and, going around.
You do, and it's like a no pressure, all enjoyment type of scenario of what it is what you make it. And it's a great introduction for kids into the arts
Yeah.
and into the community and into the music scene and live music and them really understanding that it's emotional and it's
Mhm.
fun and and it's a sense of community and it also is whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
It's all
Yeah.
all it needs to be.
And I know you brought the kids to Levitate before and even some other, like, music type things. Te what were the tell me about the concerts you exposed the kids to first, 'cause, I know them, but, if you wouldn't mind sharing, they're pretty cool stories.
It's funny because you asked to it's like, what do I want Artist Waves and to be next? And a lot of it has to do with this, connecting how it integrates into like the benefit of lives of the younger generations.
Yeah.
That's been the biggest win for me with this is getting to bring my kids to a concert experience that was their first and also their choice, right? So I'm
Right.
not dragging them to something just to see it. It's like you get to pick what artist is it that you want to wait out for, that you want your first experience to be to see live.
Yeah.
And, like my oldest was Imagine Dragons years ago. And it was like one of the greatest nights of my life. And, he's moved into different genres now, but at that age, at 6 years old, to just watch him see these guys 3 feet away and get a picture with them. And then like you see the wonder in their eyes of like, wow. And my daughter was like, Alicia Keys is right there and I'm right here. Like,
Yeah.
and she's singing and she's dancing and she's like got this whole place on their feet and nothing matters for those 2 hours. And, I got to do that with my little guys recently with Benson Boone, and then, like, they're like, "Whoa, he just did the flip that he does. He just
Uh-huh.
did the flip." And it's like, you get more of a rush and a feeling out of watching the wonder and, like, the
Yeah.
magic unfold in their eyes than you do pay attention to the actual performance. It's a special thing, and I bring that up because there's something to that point of, like, taking a kid to their first concert that I
Mhm.
want artist waves to be a part of.
Right, right, right.
It's special.
Yeah, and they'll never forget that. I mean, that's something that they'll just it's not gonna go away from them. It's sort of that, indelible mark on their memory, and I think that's wonderful, and your I'm sure they feed off of your passion for all of this, and it's special, and just keep doing what you're doing. It's a great approach. When's the next Breaker Fall album coming out, by the way?
Breaker fell. But, that would be so fun. I would love to that was I was talking about that the other day, and just, like, the experience of getting to do that. It was just one of the
Yeah,
most fun things, most fun times in my life. There was just a few places in New York you could play at the time.
yeah.
Sometimes you recycled through them 2 or 3 times over, and you're like, "I kinda feel bad asking my friends to buy a $10 ticket," and
It
then
was
but
so
also
fun.
whatever, but, like, it was just so fun.
It was so fun. I mean, I probably could have done everybody a favor and not tied my shirt up above my belly button like a groupie. Maybe everybody could have not seen that, but I was so
Well, how else
excited to
was
be
I gonna
there.
sign your chest?
Yeah, exactly. We had such a good time. We had such a good time with
We
that,
did.
and I think for the most part, I always say this as a writer, screenwriter, whatever, movie lover, actor, blah, 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 I could say it all day long. I can't play a lick of music. You do not wanna hear me sing. I love music more than any medium. It is, I have it every year my Spotify Wrapped comes out, and I listen to an embarrassing amount of music because I have it going all day, every day. It's so important in our home with my children and just, harmonizing with my oldest to California Dreamin' is a hilarious thing that we do. It's like, but to us, hilarious. I'm sure nobody else is laughing. They're probably rolling their eyes, but it's just something special for us. And music is really that can be that connective tissue with people and those festivals, like you mentioned, so important. And music is also sort of the soundtrack to so many people's lives. And I want to do something fun with you right now with some song lyrics if you want to do that. Just
Let's
three,
do it.
just three different songs. I'm going to try to guess yours. You'll try to guess mine. I'm not trying to stump you. You'll probably know at least two or three of these. But why
You
don't
will
why
still
don't
be. I'm usually, a minor league player, and even though this is my arena, I'm
yeah.
usually 2 for 10 in these types.
Okay. I'll just you'll definitely get one or two of three here. So why don't I go first real
Okay.
quick? I'll give them to you. You see what you can do here, and we'll go from there. And okay. I don't even need to look for these, and I can't find them anyway. But I will just there we go. Okay. Okay, first things first. Pull the trigger, drop the blade, and watch the rolling heads. Ding, ding, ding. There he is, the
The
man.
day I tried to live,
The day
or
I
the one
tried
and
to
only.
live.
You know what's funny is Cornell Soundgarden. I'm wearing a Cornell shirt under here,
Yeah.
and important to and when I'm about to do, like, fun or important things, I never pay attention, especially if I'm working from home, to, like, a shirt I put under my ever, and it always
Yeah.
ends up that I grab, those one of those types of days that are
Of
Cornell
course.
related.
He's the guy, man. He's the guy. I know
Yeah.
you had, met him a few times and did some work with his, family and stuff like that, and, y I love his music, and that particular so the day I try to live, that particular song is very sort of important to me, and says so much, and then he kinda I love at the end, he's like, "I should have stayed in bed." You know, you put your chin out there for the for life to punch you in the face, and it does inevitably, but you gotta get back up, and
Yeah.
anyways, so, okay, song number 2. This one might be a little tough. I'm just looking for the artist. You don't have to go crazy. I wear big boots. I know I do. I ain't envious of anybody's shoes. I wear them loose. Maybe that's why it bothers you.
I love that line, though, especially the way it ends. I have no idea, but I'm gonna guess that is it aligned to Jacob Dylan?
Sure is.
Is it
Yes,
a
sir.
Wallflower song?
It's a Wallflower song. Yes,
Alright, so
absolutely. You
I
got it.
know it's there, and I don't think that it's I think it's a deep cut.
It's a deep cut, yeah,
Okay.
I happen to it's from a song called, "It Feels Like Summer Again," and it's one of my favorite songs of all time, and he's just I it's so funny because, God, he would be my one of my number 1 guests to ever have on the show. I'm sure it will never happen, but you know, he's got a sort of a rich history with his father, and I think he's sort of like the best case of nepotism ever because he's so talented. He's so talented as a writer, which is so interesting. Not really accidental because Bob is prolific, obviously, and a legend. But Jacob Dylan's writing is, I think, second to none. Anyways, okay, this one.
Yes,
So
he's
you're 2 for 2, my man.
alright.
You're doing great. Okay, number 3, real quick. Looking to the sky to save me, looking for a sign of life.
The birthday boy yesterday, Mr. DG, Mr.
Yes,
Fu.
yes, sir.
And,
Yes, sir.
little does he know, or maybe he does know how important his work is in our life,
Oh my
and
god.
especially our early on, the bond that he created or
Of
that he
course.
gave us. I am forever in debt to Mr. Fu.
The man, Dave Grohl, the man.
Learn to fly.
Learn to Fly, I would say probably one of my top 3 favorite songs of all time. And funny, quick, tiny little story. Last year, I took my wife to for her birthday to Citi Field to see the Foo Fighters, and as that song is playing, the sky opened up, lightning like I've never seen before. We were up there in the seats. They finished the song, and then the downpour came, and we had to leave. But it was pretty intense of a moment. It was kind of cool, and they did finish the song. So, anyways, okay.
I love that.
Do you have 3 I can work with here?
You know it. I knew it. I kinda have a couple of options here.
Okay,
So, steer me a little bit. I have some artists you'll know, but challenging ones, kinda like your Wallflowers, your Jacob
okay.
Dylan. Um, or I have more Learn to Fly-esque.
Give me
Little
down the middle. Yeah, give me some
okay.
batting practice
Alright,
fastballs.
alright. I'm gonna start here.
Okay.
Alright. I gather speed from you and with me, once and for all, I'm far away. I hardly believe finally the shades are raised.
That's gotta be Pearl Jam,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, it's such an Eddie line. I
Saw
love it.
things.
It's
Rearview
so
mirror.
good. He's so good.
Yeah,
Okay, Eddie V.
rearview
What's
mirror.
next?
I had a couple PJ options that I could go with,
Okay.
but some are deep, some are poetic, some are one line, punch you in the face, but nobody I've never seen an artist, of course I'm biased, but I've never seen an artist put it together and then translate it and then deliver it live, the same emotion like that
Yeah,
person, like Eddie.
of
Like
course.
you could tell it means so much, and how those microphones don't explode with
I know.
the soul that is boom.
Well, if I could just share I'll never forget moment. I was at it was PNC, we were seeing Pearl Jam, it was like 2001, something like this, something crazy long time ago, and he grabbed you were up front, and I was on the lawn. He grabbed someone's hand, I couldn't tell who it was, and all I could think was, "God, I hope it's Jeff. I hope it's Jeff. I hope he grabbed Jeff's hand," because it was so intense. He was just grabbing his hand and singing, and I was just so with every fiber of my being, I was rooting for you to be the guy. It wasn't, but you were so close, and it was like, whatever, you're still experiencing the thing. It's
I
just one of
remember
those
that.
things.
It was Porsche. It was hear my name,
Porsche.
think of good luck, this could be right. Yeah. Yep.
Okay, give me that 3rd
Alright,
one.
I
See
got
if
one
I
more.
can
Alright.
okay.
So, let me look. I got 2 options here. All right. I'm gonna give you two and pick
Okay.
which one is who. All right. This
Okay.
one's very simple. This one is you'll make it through with another point of view again. Right. And then the other one is all the wonders I have seen, I will see a second time from inside of the ages through your eyes. All right. So let me give you some context.
Okay.
One of them is Daniel Johns of Silverchair.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say
One of them is
Silverchair.
one of them is Brandy Carlisle
Okay.
in a song called "The Mother."
Okay.
And the reason why I picked this one is because it's all about being a parent and seeing the world through your children's eyes and their experiences. So
All right. So okay. So wait. Give me the quote. Give me the quote again. I just honestly, because I was gonna say Daniel Johns or Silverchair, but give me the Brandy Carlisle quote from
all
the
right,
song.
Brandy's is this. All the
Yeah.
wonders I have seen, I will see a second time from inside of the ages through your eyes.
Wow.
That's
That's
Brandy's.
that's
Love
that's
it.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a going back to what you said about the joy that you're seeing from in your children's eyes when you become a parent, when you start to you live for that. You live for their smile. You double over in gut pain when you think about maybe someone's being mean to them at school, and it's just such an intense thing both ways, and that boy, that does that encapsulate it and capture it. That's great. What a great line.
It does, and when you think about, like, the arts or music and how it instills and makes its way into their life, and their initial thought is like, "Well, are they into it or not?" Like, it
Yeah,
does your kid play piano? Does they play guitar? Do they sing? Or are they
yeah,
an athlete or something else? And I
yeah,
don't think it has to be that way, like, it could be whatever the kid wants it to be,
mhm,
like, I've had music and art experiences with my kids in every way you can, and
mhm,
none of it's pressure filled, and it's like, if you take to it, great, and if you're a writer or artist or a piano player, that's awesome. I'd be the first one
yeah,
to, but if it's just background part noise at your party, then that's cool too. Like,
yeah,
one of the COVID New Year's Eve 20 or 21, we played on like, in my house, we wore silly clothes and dressed up and played 90s hip hop and just danced, and, like, that's what it
love it.
was, and it was great, and because of that, it was a good night.
Yeah,
But then I've had experiences where I bring them to a show and, like, I've seen a song move a kid to tears. I'm like, "Wow, you can
yeah,
feel that deeply at 11, 12 years old because of
yeah,
this." That's pretty special, man. That's pretty
yeah.
powerful too.
That's amazing, and just that the childlike openness and life hasn't exactly gotten to them yet and calloused them, and that's why, young love and young experiences are so raw and so indelible. But okay, Jeff, thank you for your time. We're gonna do one more thing. No, don't go anywhere.
Nowhere.
My
Yeah.
old man used to say, and I run into your dad with frequency, and I love seeing him, and he always says a couple things to me, but he gives me the Jilly smack in the face. He goes, "You'll always be Spike to me." And I love it. I appreciate it. I love seeing him. What's one thing he's told you that stuck with you over the years?
He had he has had a line that he's said and instilled in me. I think I first remember him saying I must have been 8 or 9 years old, and in a very gentle delivery, he would say, "Attitude plus aptitude," and he'd do the finger.
Mhm.
"Attitude plus aptitude equals altitude." All the time, and like it was an equation, and
Yeah.
very concise, and he was one that liked to detail and explain things, but in this thing that he used to always say was very much a different character,
Mhm.
and it was funny because, like, when I was little and he'd say something like that, I'd just be like, "Okay, yeah, alright, alright," and in back of my mind, I'm like, "I have no idea what the word aptitude means." I have no idea. What does aptitude mean?
Yeah.
I'm 10, but I could connect attitude and altitude, and I
Mhm.
always could, what he was always trying to say, and he's always been this way, is to have self-confidence. It doesn't
Mhm.
matter what you do. It doesn't matter if it's in sports, life, or just being a dad. Like, have confidence, and
Yeah.
that's always the wave he rides in everything that he's ever parented with me was to you walk into a room, put the room in your pocket. And that
Mhm.
doesn't mean ego, and it doesn't
Yeah.
mean I'm better than all of you, I'm the man,
Yeah.
come look at me. It means I belong here and I have something to contribute. And
Sure.
and it's not an arrogance or anything like that. It's be there and be there and then be in the moment
Yeah.
and have confidence in yourself that there's a reason why you're there. Maybe you're not the best one in the room, but you have something to contribute and you belong there.
Yeah.
Which is funny because like I was pretty reserved in certain moments
Yeah.
and that was the route he decided to always lean into. And now I see it like totally different and get it more.
Yeah.
It goes layers deeper, but he was always been about self-confidence, and that was the
Sure.
way for 30, 40 years. Um, that was the way he would deliver that message often.
That's a great message, and honestly, I think when you're a young man and you're growing and, starting to understand the world, you didn't even understand the sentiment, but he was arming you with that because he knew that that's how the world works, and I think that a lot of this show has to do with that type of thing. When you have someone in your corner like that, and you're obviously very lucky to have him in your corner. Obviously, he's a great man, and what a great piece of advice. And he's always been so supportive and loving of you. I think that it takes you far. And I think that both your parents are wonderful people. I'm lucky to know them, and you turned out just great. And just it's just we're goofballs together, but I think that at the end of the day, you're a kind and serious person. You're an artistic person. You're a great father and husband, and I hope that you keep running with Artist Waves because I think that we all need those outlets. I think we need people like you to keep governing how creativity is distilled throughout things so it's not as sort of cheapened as it's become. I think we need those real conversations around the creative arts and music specifically. So please keep doing what you're doing. Jeff, thanks so much for joining me. I really appreciate you.
Thank you, brother. I'll say one other thing about that. You made me think of is like I I think the underlying theme there was like whatever you're gonna do, it doesn't matter what it is. As a parent to your kid, just go all in. Believe
Yeah.
that you can do it, go all in. Like, my dad actually grew up without a father, uh,
I didn't
and
know that.
yeah, and he, well, he passed when he was 18, but he barely knew
Mhm.
him in a sense of, like, our kids, know us and stuff.
Yeah,
So I never knew him, the grandfather.
sure.
So a lot of this, I think, is him figuring out and being like, "This is how I want it to be.
Yeah,
This is how it should be." Um but a lot of it you learn on your own. But anyway,
yeah,
what I'm saying is, I think that's the biggest thing, the biggest message that I've always wanted to instill and
yeah.
just go for it. Like
Go for it.
you got to mess up. You got to. It's funny, even talking about lyrics and stuff. Like I'm going off on a quick tangent, but like
It's okay.
going off on like talking about we talked about our favorite lyrics in prep before this. They change a little bit as a parent than what they
Yeah,
used to be. Like, I used to really think in these abstract depth, like poetic, those are oh, that's super deep, that's what I like. Now, I still like that stuff, but
yeah.
now some of the delivery of just short, powerful lines
Mhm.
are the ones that give me the chills the most.
Yeah,
Like, it's how you say those really concise heavy hitters and how like the Pretenders, like Chrissy Hynde, the way like, "I'll stand by you," like, even when you're wrong, like, "Nothing to
yeah.
confess will make you love me, I'll stand by you," and then she backs it up with another, "I'll stand like,
Right,
I love
right.
you." Like, isn't that what it's all about? That's all you
Sure.
want. That's all you want, like, that unconditional in your corner, like,
Mhm.
call it love, support, whatever, that unconditional,
Yeah.
"I got you," like and the reason why I'm going to that is because I was thinking a lot about you in this show when I was thinking about this week, because I'm not sure I've ever heard or met somebody who is as unconditional support in their corner and got you, and, like, even if you're wrong, I love you. I got you. Like that you are the epitome of that rock, of the person that is unconditional for your people. I'm so proud and stoked that you've been doing this. You have so much love and important things to put out to people. And the fact that they're getting to hear it and connect with you like this is something special. So I'm so
Wow.
proud and psyched for you, man. I'm so happy to
Thank
be
you.
in this chair on the other side. Hearing your sister's voice in that first episode, dude, I was just so moved by that. Emily's the best, and just hearing her
Yeah.
voice, I was like, it just was so awesome.
Yeah. Thanks,
It
man.
really was.
I,
So keep doing what you're doing. You're making a very, very important message be heard loud and clear, man.
that's very, very kind. And on that, I couldn't say it any more better. I appreciate that more than you know. I'm even a little surprised and caught up right now. So thank you, Jeff. All right, thanks
Thank
for
you.
coming. All right,
So
brother.
fun. Cheers, buddy.
All right, cheers. Well, that was a great episode. I had a great conversation. I hope you excused me a little while I sort of got a little nerdy with music and lyrics and an old friend. I had a great time. I hope you did. Go check out some of Jeff's work on Artist Waves. Go check out some of the information about the Levitate Festival. Those guys sound like they are onto something there. It sounds great. We may have to make the Florida Hook hour trip and go up there with the girls. But I hope you're enjoying this. Please tell your friends, like, subscribe. It all helps. It really does. YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and all the places. Instagram, email, Gmail at the Fatherless Cheat Sheet podcast.com. And we'll talk to you soon. See you next week on the Fatherless Cheat Sheet. All right.